this." A menacing yet playful voice sounded from somewhere in the rafters. "My first is, no, forget that. What do you call a, no, be a, no." The volume and timbre shifted on the last word as a long, lean shadow fell across the floor, leading back to the modest, non-hulking form of the Riddler, standing in the doorway. "Boy, you've got a crap name there, Bane. One syllable, no anagrams to speak of. Origins, Middle English, Bana, Slayer. Old Norse, Bani, Death. Old Frisian, Bona, Murder. Old Saxon, Bano, Murder. High German, Bano, Murder. One note, kinda like you." He entered, giving the end of his cane a little twirl whenever it hit the floor, lending a studied nonchalance to his walk. "He treating you okay, Mr. Kittlemeyer?" Eddie asked, without turning his gaze from Bane. "Ja," Kittlemeyer said carefully, watching the space between the two men as well as his own path to the door. "You should get going then," Eddie said, pointing with the tip of his cane to indicate Kittlemeyer should walk around to his right. Bane curled the fingers of his left hand into a fist that cracked his knuckles as he stood. Then he did the same with his right. "Am I supposed to be impressed?" Nigma asked, as if it was a particularly easy riddle. "You should be afraid," Bane said grimly. "Of whom? The coward who had to wear Batman down before taking him on? The soured, underpowered coward that, even packing the old Venom advantage, needed to break us all out of Arkham to tire Batman out before he could take on a witty-bitty crime fighter half his size? I taunt Batman, you pusillanimous poseur. I say, come and get me, big man. And when he does, I want his best game. That's how men measure swords, you posing poltroon. Why on earth do you imagine I'd be afraid of a fraction of a man who had to hide behind my coat once already?" Contrary to popular belief, Bane's backbreaker maneuver did not literally break Batman's back. It did inflict a massive herniation to the L3-L4 disc, causing it to swell until it pressed into the spinal column, causing temporary paralysis. Something similar was now occurring inside Bane's brain. The punch that machismo demanded in reply to this riddling little cockroach required a slight shifting of weight from his forward left to his back right. That was all, a slight shift in weight. But there was an obstruction between that learned instinct and the synapses that would actually move his muscles to do it. That obstruction took the form of a single word: Guernica. Bane couldn't have said why at the time. He just knew this. Thought was swelling in his head, pressing inexplicably but undeniably into his ability to speak or move. What kind of courage did this little man have? To a man like Bane, being called a coward was beyond insult, beyond obscenity. But it was hard not to feel it, delivered like this from this colossally, inhumanly, incomprehensibly brave man. It was hard not to feel it as a blow of absolute truth. "Mr. Kittlemeyer and I will be leaving now," Riddler said evenly. "Word has it you're not a muscle-bound imbecile. If that's true, you should be leaving too. Get out of Gotham and never come back. If you don't..." The pause lasted for only a heartbeat, during which the body of Edward Nigma seemed to grow a shade denser, a shade thicker, perhaps even a shade taller. "I will break you.